Everyone, Mike Veach to my left, I'm Mark Asano. All right, to introduce this morning's special guest who has become a celebrity very rapidly. Here's Michael.
If you don't think we're looking forward to this particular interview with a trainer and an owner who's got himself into the Derby picture off of last week at Tampa Bay, then you're not paying attention. We'd like to welcome to the Down the Stretch studio here in upstate New York, Tom McCarthy, who is involved with a very fine runner named General Quarters. So, Tom, if you're there, welcome to Mike and Mark on Down the Stretch.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Tom.
Tom, we're you're there?
Yes, I'm here.
Very, very good. We're very glad you could be with us this morning, Tom. And just for our audience, you're a first-time guest on this show. Just tell them a little bit about yourself and your involvement with the horse racing game, if you would.
Well, my grandfather came to this country as an exercise rider at Old Jamaica. My father and his cousin trained on the New England circuit at Lincoln Downs and Narragansett for years, and I was just enthused with horses ever since I've been a youngster. And I've been in Louisville, Kentucky since I've been 17, 75 now. And the dream is finally coming out at a very late stage in life, I'll tell you that. But I am tickled pink, and don't anybody tell you that you can't get excited as you get a little older. As a matter of fact, it might even be a little bit more special.
We are very, very glad to hear that, Tom. I want to talk about General Quarters here. You liked him and another Sky Mesa colt as well at the Keeneland September sales 2 years ago. Was there anything about Sky Mesa's early crops that were important to you? Was that why you were shopping?
Well, I always go to the sales years and years, and I needed a horse, and I had lost my last horse. He was claimed from me, and I was looking for something for the spring and summer just to stay active, and I did look at him, and he had just a little funny way of going in his right front, just a hair. You'd have to be a good horseman to pick it up, but I think I got up to about 14,000 for him, and I really let him go because I had another colt that was not too far, in back of him that I really wanted, and I didn't get him. I forgot how much he went for. But when I did finally spot him in the program, he was impeccably bred. And Sky Mesa, I watched him as a 2-year-old at Keeneland win a stake race, a large stake race for 2-year-olds. I was very impressed with him. I never forgot it. And then he had this was just his second crop. And at that time, when I did claim him, the Sky Mesas hadn't hit the front page, you might say. He might have had a couple of winners, but after I claimed him, all of a sudden, he had a filly in California, won a stake, and then 3 or 4 Sky Mesas won at Churchill. So I was pretty enthused after I got him.
Now, when you got him, I understand that you won a shake at the box that day. Were you actually looking for him to show up, or was this just something that you noticed him there and you decided to go for it?
Well, let me just put it to you this way. I put the claim in, and I was just hoping.
Okay. Okay. Well, you ran him in the Bashford Manor. That didn't pan out, but he was off for 3 months following that race. So did something go wrong?
Well, I didn't really have enough time to get him ready for the Bashford Manor, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and he led into the stretch. And after the Bashford Manor, I said, well, I might really have something here. I'm going to have to let him grow up. He's big, gangly, colt. He just wasn't quite mature enough to, really put him down and start training him like, you normally would train a horse. He's a great big, he's almost 17 hands, and I just started ice and water and long, slow gallops. About every 2 or 3 weeks, I'd give him a slow breeze. And he began to mature, began to put on weight, and he and I have a very good rapport. I do all the work myself on him, and believe me, he needs a lot of work.
Okay, yeah.
I spend a lot of time with him, and good horses need work. So he's doing very well. As a matter of fact, today scared the jockey and me half to death. He got down to the backstretch where he turns around to gallop, and he jumped straight up in the air. Scared both of us. He's very aggressive, very aggressive. Hard to slow down. Wow. They call him the big train down here.
Oh, good. Good. Well, Tom, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
When General Quarters returned at 3 at Tampa Bay, it really seems your work is paying off. He's clearly a better runner in those 2 sprint stakes that set up the series. But did you have any concern stretching to 1.16 for the Davis?
Well, I tell you what, in that second race, that sprint,
yep,
he had to come around all of them and had caught and went to the lead briefly at about the 8th pole, and then he relaxed. And he had blinkers on, and I said, uh-oh. And then he dug in again when he saw that horse and actually got beat by half a length. And I said, those blinkers have got to come off. And I couldn't wait to put him around 2 turns because he is really a 2-turn horse. Mm-hmm. His dam is by Unbridled Song, who has had many stakes winners going long. And I think the Sky Mesas are bred to go long. So I had no doubt whatsoever. I knew he'd, react very well to it, and he did.
Tom, we're watching that race right now, and he's down the backstretch, and he's on the inside. As you were watching this, was it going the way you had hoped that it would?
It went picture perfect.
Yeah.
I told James to break, get some position, and put him near the rail. I said, don't go around. This isn't the kind of race that you're going to have to go around horses for the simple reason they're all good horses. Mm-hmm. And stay where you are when you get an opening. Just reach down, tap him on the shoulder. And that's exactly what he did. When it was time to go, he tapped him on the shoulder, come around the turn, and he just took off and ran like he was capable of running.
We're watching him turn for home now. Tom, I'm not going to make an assumption, so I'm going to ask you, what's his likely next start?
Tampa Bay Derby.
Okay. Now, before I go to my partner, Mark, I've got one final question for you. At this time of the year, we understand, following this game for as long as we have, that many good 3-year-olds are often for sale. So my question is, has the phone been ringing?
Oh, yes, it has. Earlier in my career, I did sell a horse that I thought was pretty nice, but I'll tell you what, I'm running out of time, Mike. I'm 75, and I'm not going to have another shot. So I would have to have something that would blow the doors off the barn, so to speak, but I really would like to get him to the Derby.
Well, that's just wonderful, and we don't think you're running out of time at all. And Tom, for my part, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Here's my partner, Mark Cusano.
Good morning, Tom. Just one question for you. Tom, yes. What would it mean to you to go back home to Louisville with a colt who you claim for $20,000 and be able to participate in America's greatest race?
Well, you've asked the question. I've seen every single Derby since 1957. I know the atmosphere back there. I've even run horses on Derby Day. Oh. The feeling, I don't know how to explain it. It's just overwhelming. Just to be in the race, the history and everything that goes along, the ambience, the Derby is just so special to all of us in Louisville. That's it,
That's great.
It's the greatest thing in the world to me. I look forward every single year to the Derby and follow all those horses that come up through, and will take part in the Derby.
Well, Tom, we hope you're going to be, looking at it in slightly a more special way this year with General Quarters. All congratulations with his victory in the Sam F. Davis. Good luck in the upcoming Tampa Bay Derby. Good luck wherever else he takes you. And we hope to be speaking with you again before the first Saturday in May.
Wonderful. I hope I have that opportunity.
Thank you, Tom.
Blessings to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tom McCarthy, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful, wonderful story that is. And we wish him all the best. By the way, in the Sam Davis, the 3 Gulfstream shippers, Free Country, the 19-10 favorite, ran 4th. Atomic Rain, the 2.5-1